lost every round and Floyd Money Mayweather was whipping him pretty good. I was not there. I did not see it. I do not know. Here's what I do know, which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather...
Look, baby, there you go. You only 3-1. Good jab. Don't break. Beast. He's a beast. He's a beast, baby.
ESPN's First Take host, Stephen A. Smith, didn't hold back as he blasted Floyd Mayweather for what he called a childish and jealous move after Floyd leaked his old sparring footage with Terence Crawford. According to Stephen A., the move was nothing more than an attempt to steal the spotlight from the newly crowned undisputed champion. "We all know Crawford's win took Floyd out of the spotlight," he said. "That's such a childish thing to do, man. Just because people are praising Crawford doesn't mean you have to tear him down. Stop getting jealous, man. Floyd should know that a sparring video means nothing. Crawford is still that guy. He's still a GOAT, and the entire boxing world knows it."
Which is why I sit here with sadness today to report to you that I'm incredibly disappointed in one of my all-time favorite fighters, my brother, Floyd Money Mayweather. Now, Floyd Mayweather...
Stephen A. didn't just side with Crawford over Mayweather. He went even further, calling Floyd a poor role model for the sport. He argued that Mayweather's legacy, while historic in the ring, left a damaging mark on boxing's spirit. According to him, Floyd's obsession with protecting his undefeated record inspired a generation of fighters to dodge tough matchups instead of chasing greatness. "That's not how legends behave," Stephen A. said bluntly. "Floyd changed boxing, yes, but not for the better. He made fighters care more about keeping that zero than giving fans the fights they deserve."
This man won.
Is Canelo washed up now at 35 years old?
Oh, I don't know. Boxing is a lot of wear and tear on the body.
You'll never see that from Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, or Lionel Messi. None of the greats in other sports act like that. Stephen A. continued. "Floyd has done more harm to boxing than good. He's the reason the big fights stopped happening. Fighters saw him dodge risks and still make millions, so they followed his lead. Before the Saudis stepped in and started forcing the best to fight the best, fans had gotten used to disappointment, and that all traces back to Floyd Mayweather."
They got to change their culture, though, because a loss in boxing means a lot more than a loss in MMA. Like, the MMA fans are more accepting, especially if the fight was good, where in boxing, their whole role is to build you to 20 so they can get you title fights, and they're finding people for you along the way. So
this ongoing debate over how Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford built their undefeated records has sparked serious controversy. Active boxer Ryan Garcia even jumped into the discussion during a September 10th segment of Ring Magazine's Inside the Ring, where he compared the paths both fighters took to greatness.
And another where he felt like he was at a disadvantage when he had a rehydration clause and he was younger. So, I don't know. I don't go off of that. Floyd is the best fighter, in his era. And I feel like I'm the best fighter.
After Max Kellerman argued that Manny Pacquiao should rank above Floyd Mayweather on a pound-for-pound list of this century's greatest boxers, challenging ESPN's recent ranking that placed Floyd at number 1. Former NFL star LaShawn McCoy jumped in, saying, "Nobody has changed the game like Floyd Money Mayweather." Ryan Garcia quickly fired back, in a bad way. He went on to explain, "Mayweather mastered the art of knowing when to fight somebody and when not to. He's the best at making money and timing every big fight, but he never fought anyone truly in their prime after junior lightweight. So yeah, he changed the game, but in the worst way possible. Now every fighter's obsessed with protecting their zero.
A game like Floyd Money Mayweather.
He mastered the art of knowing when to fight somebody and when not to fight somebody. I mean, he's the best in that game. He's the best in, making money and making all the, the huge fights happen. But why? Because he was timing every single one of them. He never fought nobody really in their prime. He always
after junior lightweight. Junior lightweight.
He changed the game in the worst way possible. You're right. Everybody's trying to protect their own.
A lot of the stuff that Canelo was doing And that I would say this, that work from Boots helped in that aspect, because Canelo was reacting to a lot of the counters that Crawford was throwing. Usually in the past, Canelo would stand right there. He would lunge and he would stay in place, keep his feet in place. However,
Still, Kellerman argued that when you look beyond pure numbers and focus on overall dominance and danger, Terence Crawford may actually stand above Mayweather. He explained that Crawford's ability to adapt, his knockout power across multiple weight classes, and the way he systematically breaks opponents down all showcase a level of control and finishing instinct that Floyd rarely displayed. Floyd was a defensive genius, Kellerman said. But Crawford is a destroyer. He doesn't just win rounds, he ends fights. With Crawford still active and conquering bigger challenges, Kellerman suggested we might be witnessing a fighter whose peak form surpasses even Mayweather's best years.
Wild, because if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost.
Kellerman noted that while Mayweather's strategy was brilliant from a business and career management standpoint, it also left a lingering question mark over his legacy. By contrast, Crawford's approach feels more fearless. He's fought elite opponents in their prime, often moving up in weight to challenge himself rather than waiting for the perfect timing. Crawford is fighting to prove something, Kellerman said. Mayweather fought to protect something. That difference, he argued, is why Crawford's rise has reignited debates about what greatness really means in boxing. Dominance without risk, or dominance achieved by walking straight into danger.
But then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with every...
We've had a lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation go as far as who would win in a fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who would win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd would win that
Yes,
fight.
sir. I
Floyd
love you, Terrence.
always figures it out.
Yeah, he's
like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't gonna happen.
Kellerman emphasized that greatness in boxing isn't just measured by numbers or undefeated records. It's about how a fighter earns their respect. He explained that Crawford, much like Pacquiao and Roy Jones Jr. in their primes, has reached a level where even his rivals speak about him with admiration. That's when you know you're witnessing something special, Kellerman said. When other fighters, guys who understand how hard this game really is, start calling you the best without hesitation. He argued that Crawford's relentless pursuit of challenges, combined with his dominance across multiple weight classes, has elevated him into that rare category of fighters who define their own era, rather than simply surviving it.
When I looked at it, he came out in the southpaw stance and he took Canelo's jab away from him. As you know, if you take a fighter's jab away from them, then it's hard for them to really land. You force them to use one shot, and he forced them to use his backhand, his rear hand. Crawford was ready for the loop in the right.
Mayweather was forced to call out Crawford not just because boxing fans demanded it, but because two of his former opponents publicly claimed that Crawford is the better fighter. A statement that many saw as a direct insult to the legacy of the boxing legend. Aside from Canelo, Shane Mosley, who lost to Mayweather on points 15 years ago, also echoed the same sentiment.
Who do you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather.
Speaking to Fight Hub TV, Mosley made a bold claim, saying he believes Bud Crawford is actually better than Mayweather, though he still gave credit to his former rival, acknowledging his talent. I think Crawford is better, bigger, like he's actually moving up in weight class. And I would say Crawford is a better all-around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can't knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of his long arms and because he's bigger.
If you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Fans and experts around the world have already begun debating whether Bud Crawford can now be regarded as the greatest fighter of all time after defeating Canelo. A historic victory that has propelled the 37-year-old back to the top of the pound-for-pound list. Canelo, on the other hand, had hinted at this before the fight, but after his loss, he doubled down on his stance, admitting that Crawford was the better of the two. During his post-fight press conference, Canelo Alvarez made waves when he declared that Terence Crawford is a better fighter than Floyd Mayweather. "I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather," Canelo said at the post-fight news conference.
You know, how did that feel to hear that from someone like him?
I just was like, well, you know, it's his personal opinion. He was in the ring with both of us, so a lot of people, you know, they can say what they want, but he's actually been in the ring with both of us. You know, one where he felt like he was
ready for the body shots. You know, occasionally the straight right hand to the body would land for Canelo, but you know, sooner or later Crawford started getting out of the way of that as well by just pivoting, you know, on the angle and you know, making Canelo reach. There were spots inside the ring that I saw Crawford, you know, try.
This statement carries particular weight considering it came from someone who has shared the ring with both Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. Canelo's willingness to make such a bold claim immediately after losing shows either remarkable sportsmanship or genuine belief in Crawford's superiority. The Mexican superstar's comments sparked immediate controversy throughout the boxing community. Some fans pointed to Crawford's willingness to move up multiple weight classes and face elite competition, while others defended Mayweather's perfect record and deeper resume. Terence Crawford himself later revealed that Alvarez's opinion came from personal experience, saying on The Ariel Helwani Show, "Canelo was in the ring with both of us. People can say what they want, but he's actually been in the ring with both of us."
Sure.
Would you be interested in seeing a rematch, or would the fight be the same? Would it ultimately end up the same way?
I don't know. It's up to those two guys. You know, they want to do a rematch.
Ultimately, this debate will continue to rage on because it's a matter of opinion. What's objective, though, is that both fighters remain undefeated, at least for now in Crawford's case, were long-standing champions across multiple weight classes, and will go down as two of the greatest American boxers in the history of the sweet science. Floyd and Crawford have been trading words ever since the 50-0 legend called Crawford out for a fight, only for Crawford to turn him down and accuse Floyd of trying to steal the spotlight from him.
I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever, keep it real, bro. Keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy.
After more back-and-forth exchanges between them, Floyd decided to take things to the extreme by posting a sparring session he had with Crawford earlier this year on social media. The pair had visited Shakur Stevenson earlier in the year, and while at his gym, they went a few rounds in an informal sparring session that was never publicly discussed. In fact, the photos Mayweather and Crawford shared from that day showed them in normal clothes, giving no hint that they had even sparred.
Using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah,
but like his core personality and his.
But with the feud between them escalating, Floyd Mayweather posted a 30-second clip of that sparring session where he appeared to have the upper hand. His intentions were obvious, to prove he's still better than Crawford, directly opposing the claims made by Canelo Alvarez, Shane Mosley, and others. In the short clip, Mayweather's reflexes looked sharp as ever, with Crawford struggling to land clean shots, while Floyd countered effectively with precise jabs. However, Mayweather deleted the video from X just minutes later, Though by then, it was too late. The footage had already been leaked and picked up by multiple news outlets.
Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting. I never looked at him like, man.
Actually, it was Terence Crawford and his team who invited Floyd Mayweather to their training camp in preparation for the big challenge on September 12th. The boxing legend wasn't just there to spar with Crawford and observe his training sessions. He also worked closely with him, offering valuable tips and technical guidance designed to bring Crawford one step closer to victory in September.
I think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me?
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd?
I don't know. I thought you'd hesitate maybe even a bit, but no.
Nah, not at all. You know, that's one of my...
In the footage released on social media, the pair were first seen standing ringside, discussing as Crawford and his trainers listened closely to Mayweather's advice. Moments later, they were inside the ring, with Mayweather demonstrating key details about defense, stance, positioning, footwork, and overall movement before they began sparring. During the sparring session, Crawford had moments where he unleashed a flurry of punches, working hard to break through Mayweather's defense, and he did so impressively. Afterward, he switched tactics, moving to the back foot to defend against Floyd's precise counterpunches.
He came out in the southpaw stance and he took Canelo's jab away from him. As you know, if you take a fighter's jab away from them, then it's hard for them to really land. You force them to use one shot, and he forced them to use his backhand, his rear hand. Crawford was ready for the loop in the right hands.
Upon seeing the clipped footage, fans flooded the comment section with their reactions. While some focused on the actual sparring, others criticized Mayweather for releasing the video in the first place. That was fast from a 48-year-old Floyd. I wish this guy fought through all generations to show y'all he's truly unbeatable. See how he handled Crawford like he was an upcoming boxer. Those reflexes are why he'll never be beaten. One fan commented.
Before the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT. Greatest all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches, not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists. You know, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
Another fan wrote, Floyd's so shameless. Why is he always leaking sparring videos of others when he strictly keeps his own? Where's his sparring with Devin then? Sparring means nothing, and I don't expect casuals to know that. A third added, the outcome of Floyd versus Crawford will remain a guess until it actually happens, and it won't. We can celebrate these legends without putting one down for the other. Floyd did more for himself than Crawford, and Crawford did more for the sport than Floyd. I expect we'll see more big matches because of Crawford's willingness to take risks. Floyd fought guys after their prime just to preserve his record.
If I take Floyd Mayweather in his absolute prime, and I take Manny Pacquiao in his absolute prime,
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd still beats him.
Floyd beat everybody.
You don't believe there's a guy at 140, 147 in the history of boxing that could have beat Floyd in his prime?
It'd be tough. Floyd, man, that boy, man, that's the GOAT, man. That boy bad.
What makes it, I mean, what, because, and I told people, I said, look at Floyd. I said, Floyd, it's not that he trains, I mean, it's his life. And from the very beginning, he said, I want to be the best.
When I fought Canelo, I was 36 and Canelo was 23, around the same age. Some of these guys won world titles and was undisputed champion. I think, the Tank age, the young low champions. Canelo was 23 with 43 fights and 30 knockouts.
After their session together, Floyd Mayweather was asked what he thought of Crawford's training session. Crawford is a hell of a fighter. He's one of the greatest of his generation, and he reminds me of myself and some of my opponents. I like that he's hungry and trying to leave a great boxing legacy. The footage of Crawford and Mayweather generated massive buzz online as fans rushed to comment on how great it was to see two boxing legends train together. Crawford had a similar moment with Andre Ward just before one of his biggest fights. One fan wrote, "Crawford and Floyd training together looks good. I'm proud Crawford is taking all the right steps, and I hope he wins on fight night. Canelo is definitely not ready for what Crawford is about to bring." A second added, "That ring is suffering from too much greatness. I personally think Crawford would win if this ever became real." Another wrote, "Crawford needs to listen to Floyd to beat Canelo. He also needs to hear from Bivol. There's something those guys know that many don't. I feel it's their footwork and style, but Crawford just needs to make this work, really."
And the world said he was inexperienced. I was 36 with 40-something fights. And to tell you the truth, I was over the hill. And so when I fight guys, when I'm in my 30s and they're in their 30s, you know what they say?
What's that?
Oh, this guy.
One other fan commented, "I like how the right fighters are giving Terence Crawford the support he needs. I just feel he'll get this done by decision. Big thanks to Floyd." However, things have now turned sour between the pair. Mayweather, with his perfect 50-0 record, is considered by many to be the greatest pound-for-pound boxer in history. His impenetrable defense and ability to control the pace of a fight made him a unique spectacle. Additionally, his career was marked by extraordinary commercial success. 4 of the 5 highest-grossing pay-per-view events in boxing history featured Floyd Mayweather.
With Roy Jones Jr. Floyd Mayweather, anybody else that wants to smoke the Roy Jones, you know damn well they can get in on. Has there ever been a question? That's one thing that's different from Roy. That's the difference between Roy and Floyd. Roy picked who he fought. Roy fought whoever the fuck came. So don't get me fucked. See how made me cook. Don't get me.
Do you respect the Floyd 50-0, or is it like?
You gotta respect anything a person does and stay undefeated that long. So I respect it to a degree, yeah. Is it a 50-0 that I think, oh, he the greatest fighter all the time? Nah. Chavez was 80-0 at one point. 80.
Mayweather famously ended his career with a flawless 50-0 record, capturing titles across 5 weight divisions and showcasing a defensive mastery widely regarded as the best in boxing history. He also became one of the sport's biggest global stars, headlining 4 of the 5 highest-grossing pay-per-view events ever. And that's all for now. For the latest updates on boxing news, moments, events, and highlights, stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss when we drop quality content like this. Until next time, peace.